there, Planet Sewers. It's Mathletee again. I'm back with another blueprint build for you. This is my Pygmy Hippo house. Right now we're looking at a regular hippopotamus, enjoying the hippo house. It will fit hippos. It may need a little bit of expansion if they have babies though. So I'm placing it here for you. As you can see, the hide me show me tile is just a little bit off. I may need to update the blueprint. But I was able to get it set down, turned it red, brought it back up. Right when it turned blue, set it down. You will need to add the glass barriers since they were not part of the full barrier. They're just on the inside to hold the water. So when I was setting this up compared to the build, I did struggle a little bit with getting the pathing just right and getting the barriers just right. So I went ahead and included my struggle in this video. So I started off by putting in the barriers all around, added my water. I should have Control Z'd it out instead of removing it. Sometimes when you add the water, it changes the terrain a little bit. And then when you put it back in, it's a little bit lower level. So I'm headed down to do my pathing. And right there I see it's not going to let me put in that grid path. So I said, this must be because of the barrier or the water. So let me take it out. See if I can put the path in without the barrier there. The purpose of the build down here was to hide away the barriers. So in the original build, I was able to build all of that around the habitat after I had put it in. And so here I was like, oh cool, I can get it all in. So I go about my pathing with the selected grid. And if you're having a hard time seeing as you're setting these up, you can also grab the floor, lift it up, get it out of your way, which I will do eventually a couple of times. I wanted to see where I had paths, where I didn't have paths. And unfortunately, since those are two grids, I can't group them together as a scenery item. And they're at different angles. So it looked good to me. So I put it back down, went around and attached what I could. The bathroom does need to be attached. The stores do not, as long as the path goes close. Getting the paths through these elevated areas can be a little bit tricky. I have 8-meter paths selected, and I was trying to come in from the top and go down, and I could see it was not giving me the angles I really wanted. So I went back down into the main area. I could see it was trying to connect, and then I said, well, let me start over, try again, but then it wasn't giving me that elevated piece that I needed. So I decided to go ahead and try placing a piece right here on the edge, and again it was not giving me the result I was looking for. So I took that one out, and I'm still trying. I was really hoping it would go. And I even took a little peek at my original, the one that I built, to see how its angles were. So we're gonna visit over at that pygmy house. So okay, let's come back. And I think I'm gonna try to get it from the underneath. So I said I'm gonna attach this out because that was how I did it originally. And then try coming in, and I can see, oh, I've got some elevation, but it's still not quite the right angle that I want to attach down at the bottom. As I get it attached, I can see all the red. I was like, oh man, it turned blue. Let me get a better look from down here. And I can see that it's giving me the ramp, but not the way I want to go. I placed it, it was not curving. So I grabbed the floor, pulled it up, went ahead and added one little square right there, and voila, it finally gave me that curved path I was looking for. And sorry for my horrible controls. I have a hard time getting the right angles for that curved path to behave and let me get the curves I want. So I was able to bring it up and meet it to the path outside. So I included my struggles so that if you do download this, you can not make the same mistakes I did trying to set it up. They often do not set up the same way they were built. Sometimes they're easier, sometimes they're a little more difficult. And now I'm looking around, seeing what else I need to do. So, oh yeah, I need to put that berry back in so I can add my water for the hippos. And I had some more struggles. So I was really trying to hide my barrier within the walls, which is how I had built this originally, as I said earlier. And so I was really frustrated. It would not let me put it where I wanted. So I went ahead and added hide me tiles so I could pull the floor up, not worry about getting it level again. Tried the barrier. It would not cooperate. So I went back, deleted those sections next to it, put the barrier in how I wanted. And then I ended up backing up some of that grid tiling and then using the aligned to barrier. It still wouldn't connect in that one little section next to the store. It bothered me. I think it was close enough. I was able to get it to connect. I had to use the elevated options. If you go into the advanced settings in the path, there is an advanced option where you can raise it by a set amount, which I'll slow the video down when we get there. So I'm still seeing it's not going to let me lay the path. I'm pulling it out on the barrier just to give it some room. And then I can see, oh, it is connecting on elevated. So I go in and change to where it's not going to curve. Turn off the path supports. Turn off the railing. And you can see here elevated length. I've put it down to the smallest setting and did one little uptick. And down back to the ground, and then it'll go back to its normal size. So I was happy with that, and then I just tried to connect wherever it would let me, since I'm covering my floor anyway. You can't see my crazy pass. And putting that barrier back in for about the 4th time. Suggestion: if you download this from the workshop, go ahead and do your pathing first, get it how you like it, and then put in that barrier. I really was trying to just hide it into the wall like it originally was, and the game was not cooperating with me. And so I'm trying to put my floor back down. Apparently I didn't think about it good enough when I raised it. I needed to go underneath to grab it. And I got my tile nice and how it's supposed to be, so we're going to delete them again. And then outside pass, I used a 6-meter path. I live in the United States, so every time I go to say meter, I always say millimeter, and I have to back up and cut it out and do it again. So I'm trying to follow the path lamps, and I have a little struggle here as well. I forgot that I had turned on snap to barrier, and I was really confused at why the path was being so wonky. And then I finally figured it out. So I included it so we can all have a laugh at my silliness, because I didn't need to delete that barrier at all. And back it goes. Over to the other side. Just trying to follow along with those path lights. And then I didn't want to have a dead end, so I just looped it around. If you've seen my Steam Workshop video, I created that little area over there, going over some of my other items that are smaller. And just using some in-game aquatic staff facilities so we can get some hippopotamus in this habitat. It is big enough. I mentioned that at the beginning of the video. This habitat was originally built for the pygmies, and they're quite happy with it. Although it is large enough for a regular hippopotamus. If they have babies, you may need to expand it a little bit, because once I got them in, I did check the map, and it was super close on one of them. I can't remember if it was water or land. And so I'm picking out my hippos, and we're gonna send them into that habitat. And here they are. And so I'm checking a lot of times with blueprints, even though I do try to make sure all the terrain is how they want it for the animal. Sometimes it just doesn't bring everything with it. And I'm checking traversable area to make sure that they can't escape near those paths. And then going through and changing everything from pygmies to the regular hippopotamus. And some of these, like that one right there, do have a speaker hidden behind it. And I did put that on the, sorry about my peas, I did put that on the workshop as a single item. And then that one right there's also got a speaker in it. And look around, make sure I didn't miss any. Got that right there. I did not set up the animal talk point in this video. It is set up on my other pygmy house. And I think I've got them all. Oh, one more way in the back. So we'll go ahead and change that one, and we're ready to view. So this is the habitat from the inside. I decided to put rocks on the water enrichment. And then you have a good view for guests on this elevated path if they decide to go into their foliage area or the mud pit. And the hippos can walk around their little habitat house. There is the shelter attached to the house over there. Excuse my sky buildings. I haven't decided how I'm going to build that station yet. And then the animal talk point, they can throw food there. I used my sun shade that's available on the workshop right there to cover guests and give it some more scenery. And in we go to the bottom part. There's a hippo. So cute. And thank you so much for watching my video on my Pygmy Hippo house. You can get this in the Steam Workshop. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and may the RNG odds be ever in your favor.